President Bola Tinubu upbets Nigeria will eventually extirpate terrorism and other forms of insecurity. Nigeria presents West Africa's climate action at COP30 in Brazil. Senate confirms Kingsley Tochukwu-Ude from Enugu State as the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thanks for being part of the news desk at 6 on NTA News24, live from Abuja. I'm Vivian Izadifi. We start from the State House, where President Bola Tinubu has again reassured that his administration is taking necessary steps to ensure that Nigeria defeats terrorism and other forms of insecurity. President Tinubu gave the assurance during the meeting of the Federal Executive Council. State House correspondent Musba Damwahab reports.
The Federal Executive Council meeting came to order to fill the hitherto ministerial vacancies created in the Council. Following their nomination and screening by the National Assembly, 2 new ministers designate were primed for inauguration. Bernard Doro from Plateau State replaces former Humanitarian Affairs Minister Nentawe Yiwada, who is now the APC National Chairman, and Kingsley Ude, a former commissioner from Enugu State, is taking the slot of Enugu to replace the former Minister of Science and Technology Uche Naji, who resigned recently.
Of my duties as minister, so help me God.
Then, in an unusual circumstance, came the usual assertive voice.
The most important thing is
President Bola Tinubu would for the first time react to the current situation occasioned by the threats of military incursion by the U.S.
Despite the political headwind and the fear of our people, we continue to engage with our partners. The sources of the 2.3 billion bond, our subscription, oversubscribed, is the most at this stage. So the task ahead is immense. We are engaging the world diplomatically, and we assure all of you that we will, defeat terrorism in this country. The task ahead is immense, but it's our resolve to move forward with unity and purpose, guided by renewed hope agenda to build a prosperous, inclusive, and resilient Nigeria.
The President also yielded the floor to the Coordinating Minister of Finance and Economy, Wale Edu. The Coordinating Minister gave updates of economic progress, including the growth of GDP by 4.2% in the second quarter of 2025, growth of 13 major sectors by 7%, growth of industrial sector from 3.72% to 7.45%. Foreign exchange reserves topped $43 billion, while trade surplus hit 7.4 trillion naira.
Yesterday's hugely successful 2.35 billion euro bond issuance, in which the order book peaked at over $13 billion, is a testament to continued investor confidence in our country and our reform agenda and Mr. President's leadership.
He assures of sectoral commitments to the $1 trillion economy envisioned by the government as they prepare for the next phase of the reforms.
The next phase of reforms will remove barriers holding back investors. We will review tariffs and import restrictions to stimulate productivity and investment.
The minister believes every naira must be optimized to sustain momentum amid global liquidity constraints, while the government continues to harness local resources to strengthen the economy. From the State House, Musbah Wahab, NTA News.
To Brazil now, where Nigeria has positioned itself as West Africa's climate action leader following its submission of the region's first third national determined contribution NDC 3.0 to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Director General of Nigeria's National Council on Climate Change, Fedioye Majokudumi, disclosed this during the ongoing 30th conference of the parties of the UNFCCC COP30 in Berlin, Brazil, in an interview ahead of the summit's opening ceremony. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila has more.
Belém, the capital state of Para in the North Brazil, is a port city and gateway to Brazil's lower Amazon region. And this is where leaders across nations are meeting, with Nigeria participating on the UN Climate Change 30th session to discuss on 3 key mandated reports that shed light on where progress is happening and where more acceleration is still needed. And Vice President Kashim Shettima prepares to unveil Nigeria's green transition roadmap to the world leaders, positioning the country to turn its climate commitment into concrete investment opportunities and projects.
Submission of our NDC 3.0, and we being the first West African country to submit. And this is, it's a turning point for Nigeria. And one of the main things we're hoping to take away is to turn all these deliverables in our NDC 3.0 into pipeline projects, partnerships, and pay for performance. Because we need to start turning this paper from paper to projects. And COP30 is where Nigeria would be doing this.
It's about Mr. President's commitment to the 2016 Paris Accord, which Nigeria is signatory to. And of course, ensuring that, Article 13 of that particular accord, which talks about climate change, is duly pursued and of course being implemented later. So here in Belém, Mr. Vice President will definitely be taking to the later and speaking to the spirit and body of Nigeria's intent. And talking about nationally determined contributions has always been pursued. We look forward to reducing our climate emissions in 2030 by 35%. And of course, we are targeting zero emissions by 2060.
Vice President Kashim Shettima is billed to join other world leaders, development partners, and business executives at the opening ceremony of COP30, themed Climate Action and Implementation, with a strong focus on adaptation, forest, biodiversity, and climate justice, expected to present Nigeria's climate action address. From Belém in Brazil, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Back in Nigeria, the Nigerian Senate has confirmed the appointment of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu, SAN, from Enugu State as a Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Dr. Ude was appointed this week by President Bola Tinubu following the resignation of Uche Naji, the immediate past Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology. Until his nomination as minister, Dr. Ude was the Enugu State Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice.
And I hope he will bring his wealth of experience to add to the federal cabinet, to add value, and then realize the hope, the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President.
The Senate has asked the National Agency for Foods and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, not to extend the grace period with regards to the ban on packaging of high-strength alcohol in sachet beyond December 2025. In a fast-changing world where digital technologies are shaping progress, women must be equipped with the right tools and knowledge for them to continue to be agents of change in their families, communities, and the nation. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu stated this at the closing ceremony of the Women in Tech Training Program organized for 300 female entrepreneurs by Renewed Hope Initiative in collaboration with Huawei Technologies Company. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo has more.
Their journey into the digital world began around April last year when the Women in Tech Training Program, set up by Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu through our Renewed Hope Initiative in collaboration with Huawei Technologies Company, provided a platform for this cohort of 300 participants from across the 6 geopolitical zones to learn and adopt digital tools. The successful completion of their training, the First Lady says, marks another milestone in the efforts of Renewed Hope Initiative to bridge digital gaps by offering training and other incentives for female entrepreneurs to contribute to national development.
The participants in this group reflect the diversity and strength of Nigerian women, ranging from university students eager to step into the world of digital economy to business owners seeking to expand their enterprises through innovation to help them thrive in today's evolving technology-driven world.
While applauding Huawei Technologies for the collaboration, she says the ultimate goal is to support the agenda of the federal government for inclusive growth and digital empowerment for all Nigerians.
Your biggest strength is your ability to keep learning, evolving and adapting to new trends available for your growth in technology. Use your new skills to solve real problems in your various communities, because true innovation is only valuable when it improves lives. I charge you all to mentor others in your various businesses. Be a guide for young girls and women who think technology is not for them.
We are all ambassadors of digital empowerment, and you carry with you the torch of innovation and the promise of change. The renewed hope is not just a slogan, but it is a reality where every Nigerian woman can dream, learn, and lead without limits.
Use this certificate as a key to the world. Use it to build your product.
With their certificate of participation and starter packs in hands, they stand at the threshold of the digital world, ready to unlock doors of opportunities as innovators, able and willing to build products and solutions.
So we were taught how to use AI to generate our own businesses.
It has made things very easy for me. In my research work, it helped me a very lot. Even in my teaching.
I want to expand it to other people too that are not from Nigeria, that are not from Imo State, that are willing to have an virtual class.
Apart from this cohort, RHI partnership with other organizations, including the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, has served to promote digital inclusion for women. From the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
We'll take a break now. More reports when we return. Stay with us.
Feel the power of precision, engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
Bathy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year is here. This festive season, enjoy extra savings on luxury and comfortable sofa sets, modern and functional dining sets, sophisticated and smart bed sets, and our royal collections. Classy, premium, and truly exclusive. Shop 10 million Naira and receive a complimentary Daisy tea set. Spend 15 million and take home a 65-inch smart TV. Go higher at 20 million and experience unmatched comfort with our exclusive massage chair. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online. It's big, it's bold, it's unforgettable. It's Bathy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year.
This is NTA News24.
Welcome back. To politics now. The All Progressives Congress, APC, has commenced the process of amending its constitution. Aliu Tijani reports that stakeholders of the party met in Lafia, Nasarawa State for the North Central public hearing.
From all states across the North Central Zone, stakeholders of the All Progressives Congress, APC, are in Lafia to make inputs as the party amends its constitution to be in tune with current realities. National Chairman of APC, Professor Mentawe Yewada, represented by the Deputy National Secretary of the party, Professor Abdul Karim Kana, says the public hearing is to ensure every member of the party has his voice in the amended constitution.
The idea is to receive submissions and memorandum from different members of the party from this geopolitical zone for the purpose of inclusion in the amendment process that is going on.
Governor Abdullahi Sule urges participants to use the opportunity of the public hearing and submit memorandum that will provide the needed input in the APC, which will be looked into by the committee. He commends President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for instituting a committee that will look into the amendment of the constitution of the APC, as he emphasizes that the measure is apt due to the continued influx of new members into the party.
And I want our stakeholders in particular to use the opportunity to submit as many memorandum for this amendment as possible. And we will sit down later on as members of this committee, review the memorandum and accommodate them.
Earlier, the team, including former national chairman of the party, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, pays a courtesy call on Governor Abdullahi Sule, and his counterpart of Yobe and Borno states are members of the APC Constitution Amendment Committee in Lafia. Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
Still on politics, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, like-minded group is urging the international community and relevant agencies to strengthen the nation's democratic ideals. In letters dated November 4th, 2025, the group appealed to the European Union, the United States, and the Chief Justice of Nigeria to ensure that Nigerians' democracy is safeguarded, urging transparency, accountability, and respect for the rule of law.
Nigeria should have as many parties they want, so that we can be able to speak our mind.
The group reaffirmed its commitment to peaceful advocacy and the defense of democratic values. And South Africa is to deploy more than 100 observers at various polling units in November 8th Anambra governorship election to take compliance to Electoral Act's provision as it affects people with disabilities. Officials of the organization disclosed this during training for those within Anambra North Senatorial District. Uchenna Nwokoyo reports.
TAF Africa, a disability inclusion champion funded by the European Union, is to deploy these trained observers to every polling unit on the election day. Their roles include, among other things, to document the challenges of people with disabilities during the election. Findings will be part of recommendations to improve electoral process and inclusivity in future elections. Resource persons advise the trainees to remain neutral and apolitical while monitoring the polls.
So these observers, based on what they've been trained on, they're going to report to us if these assistive tools that INEC had promised and that is contained in the Act is provided. We are hoping that the current elections are better than the previous elections. That is the goal.
This should not interfere with the polling process at all. Whatever you see there, objectively report it. Do not add anything to it. Report what you have observed, and we will take it forward from there.
Section 54 of the Electoral Act 2022, as amended, provides that INEC should ensure the provision of assistive tools for visually impaired persons and ensure easy access to the polling units for people with disabilities.
Like we just said, that we're going to abide by the rules and regulations and the conduct of the electoral processes.
I have to appreciate TAF Africa for the inclusivity, whereby they are giving voice not only to the physically challenged or disabled people, but also members of the media who will help them amplify their voices.
In Onitsha, Uche Nawekoyo, NTA News.
Ahead of the 30th United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP30, built to hold in Brazil, young climate leaders from across Nigeria have converged on Abuja to develop actionable recommendations aimed at influencing national and global climate policies. The gathering, known as the 2025 Local Conference of Youth, was organized by Action Aid Nigeria in collaboration with youth networks and climate-focused organizations. Ekenendulwe has more.
From rising temperatures and flooding to food insecurity and displacement, the impact of climate change is being felt across communities in Nigeria. And for young people who make up the majority of the population, the question is no longer if they should act, but how soon. It is for this reason that Action Aid Nigeria, in collaboration with youth networks and climate-focused organizations, have organized this conference for young people to exchange ideas, build capacity, and craft a unified voice for climate advocacy.
We are reminded that climate action is not only about carbon emissions and policies. It is actually about the people, about equity, about dignity, and the right of every young person to inherit a livable planet.
140 million plus youth could provide 140 million solutions to climate. You could implement 140 million plus interventions related to climate change.
And for the youth, the message is clear. The time to act is now.
Let's not just do the talking, let's do the doing.
Nigerian youths contribute to about 60% of the total population of Nigeria. So for anything to actually work in the right sense, the youth must be actively involved.
I will tell the world leaders to ensure meaningful participation of youth in the policy discussion,
with their recommendations set to feed into global deliberations at COP30, these young climate champions are calling on government and other stakeholders to invest in climate education, clean energy, and sustainable livelihoods. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
The International Labour Organization, ILO, is strengthening capacity of trade union in Nigeria to effectively understand international best practices on decent work. This is to ensure the workers' union engages stakeholders on creating jobs that are safe and secured, inclusive, and have incentives. Joseph Hossein reports.
The labor movement globally is meant to pursue workers' rights.
guided by the International Labour Organization conventions as ratified by member states, the trade unions have continued to push for decent work. Time after time, the International Labour Body brings the union's leadership together to keep them abreast with its framework. In here is another training focusing on engaging government policies on job creation.
Advancing decent work outcomes under Nigeria's Decent Work Country Program number 3. Sustained partnerships with our social partners are essential to the success of the CESIN project and broader employment policy implementation efforts in Nigeria.
We must ensure that the kind of employment relations existing in our nation provides adequate safeguards against slavish work.
Other stakeholders are not left out. Just recently, the ILO concluded a train-the-trainer program for policymakers covering 6 states in Nigeria.
One is a system strengthening, which is being implemented by UNICEF and ILO, and at the national level and also at the state level. At the state, we are focusing on 4 states, which is Abia, Benue, Sokoto, and Oyo State. And the other aspect of it, of the entire what we call the action document, is on safety nets program implemented by GIZ in Borno and Adamawa states.
One of the key takeaways that we have acquired from this training is the need to work as a team to be able to address the issue of poverty in Nigeria. That partnership is the new innovation.
The goal is to improve social protection coverage that is inclusive and shock responsive. In Abuja, Joseph Oten, NTA News.
And that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching, and Vivian Izadi. Bye.
The implementation of the ruling is also dependent on another aspect or another arm of government.
Nowhere in the world will allow under digital economy for banks not to be dispensing domestic currency in that economy.
What will make this one different? We want to know what they do as occupation. All of these are attributes that our questions have been designed to investigate.
In a few days to come, you see that we are all around their own crannies and everywhere in Nigeria, telling people to cooperate.
Welcome to Nigeria Today.
This is NTA News24.
They say you cannot eat potential, neither can you bank potential.
For you to be able to enter into niche market or export your products to other countries, you need to acquire some international certification.
Nigeria produces more than 370,000 metric tons of shea.
The ambition